day everyone. So today I'm gonna be making sushi here on maplesavage.com. It's gonna be a special sushi with maple sugar. The reason I'm doing this video in English today is just because, well, first of all, our website is not yet in English, so I do apologize to all of my English speaking friends. And so anyway, so this video is going to be in English, and from time to time I'm going to try to make some videos in English just to make sure that we capture all the audiences. So to begin making the sushi, first of all we need to make the rice. So to make the rice, it's quite simple. I have my rice cooker here. The key step in the beginning is to take your 2 cups of rice and rinse them. So in order to rinse them, put this in here, add water, you stir with a spoon, and when you stir with the spoon, you're gonna see that the water is gonna be cloudy. That means that like the sugar is being removed from the rice. And so you wanna repeat that process and remove the water and start again until the water no longer gets cloudy. So this is the first key step to make the rice sushi. And we all know that this is a very, I went ahead and got my strainer. Very important, get your strainer. So cold water, ideally. See that? Not really, it's spilling everywhere. But the water gets cloudy. Here, I'm gonna pour some here, just so you guys can see. This is see-through, so you see it's kind of like water and milk. So you repeat that step until that doesn't happen anymore. So I've stirred my rice now. I'm gonna put it into my strainer and then pour it back into my recipient, and I'm gonna add water again. Okay, so it's not perfect, but it will be enough. I've done it. I've done it 4 times, I think. To be honest, I don't quite remember. It could have been 5 times. So the next step is to pour a cup and 3/4. Oh, that's a cup and 3/4 of water into your rice. So there again, very simple. Just make sure that you remove all the rice from the side when you put it in your rice cooker. But I mean, that part is the same as making normal rice. So you're gonna turn on your rice cooker, and I'm gonna put in SuSHi, and I'm gonna wait. In the meantime, we're gonna be making the syrup. All right, so to make the syrup, again, it's very simple. It's 1/3 of rice vinegar. It's a little bit more, but it's not really an issue. 1 tablespoon of salt. And 1 tablespoon of sugar. So of course I will be putting in 1 tablespoon of maple sugar. Combine all of the ingredients and then stir. The objective is so that the salt and the sugar dissolve. So once you obtain a combined liquid, I guess, you let it sit there and you wait until your rice cooker is over. The next step is once this is done cooking, as soon as it's done cooking, we're gonna open our rice cooker and we're gonna pour our vinegar syrup into the rice and combine it, and then it's gonna cool off. So I know this step is a bit long, but unfortunately making sushi takes a long time. So I'm going to be taking a little pause while this cooks. Probably be about 15 or 20 minutes or something. And when we come back, we're gonna finish the rice. Okay, so this indicated that it was over. So, well, simple rice. I'm going to start by mixing my rice. And then step 2, I will pour in my vinegar, which I'm going to mix again just to make sure that that the salt and sugar are distributed evenly. So once you put that in, you mix. And the other key thing will be that while your rice is cooling off, you will be mixing it about every, well, let's say you need to cool it off for like 15 minutes, and every 5 minutes you come and you mix your rice. So I'm gonna put that aside, and I will be making the, preparing my table to make my sushi and make my my mayonnaise in the meantime. To make my mayonnaise, I'm gonna be using one egg yolk. I will be using sunflower oil, which is sunflower from a co-op of farmers from around here. Normally, you could also do it with olive oil if you wanted, but it's interesting to make it with a local product. And also the other thing is that sunflower oil will not bring in the bitter taste that sometimes the olive oil brings to any kind of mayonnaise. So I like to add in a little bit of salt to my yolk to begin with. I find that it helps me with making my mayonnaise. So step 1, you mix the yolk. I mix the yolk until I get something consistent enough, and then I pour my oil slowly, and eventually I get mayonnaise. So I will forward this to the end for you guys. All right, so in the meantime, I went ahead and I've made some green onions. I made some avocado, so I've cut them into little pieces. I've made some mango. Sorry, I forgot what it was. I actually forgot what I did. And of course, I've stirred my rice about every 5 minutes. So right now my rice would be done, but my other ingredients are not done. So what I wanted to show you guys is the salmon. So I take a piece of salmon. They say it's very important to freeze your salmon before you make sushi with it. So here's my piece of salmon. I'm actually, when I take it out of the freezer and I leave it frozen because I want to torch my salmon, but I wanted to keep I want it to stay cool. You know, if it was room temperature or fridge temperature and I was to flame it, then I would have like a fully cooked salmon, which is not exactly what I want. So that's why I do it while it's still frozen. So for that, I'm using a Canadian Tire simple torch. So I'm gonna show you guys quickly, and then I'm gonna put the video on pause just because it's gonna make smoke and the fire alarms is gonna start. So I actually need to go under the fan, and if I show you under the fan, you won't hear anything. So I'm gonna show you here quickly, pause the video, and then come back to show you what the final product. So this is what I'm gonna be doing, and this is gonna, it boils So it's gonna start cooking and it's gonna show some kind of like a marshmallow in a fire can. So that's what's gonna happen. So I will come back. So I am done with my salmon. I have my pieces of salmon here that I have, actually the reason why I do that is to smoke the salmon. I want that smoky flavor. So now I'm just gonna cut it. You can see like this big piece is still frozen inside, but that's exactly what we want. So I grossly cut my salmon. You don't need to cut it very little, because when you're gonna mix it with the mayo and all, it's gonna come to pieces. So you can see that I have this nice salmon that's cooked on the outside and inside it's still raw. That's what we want. Okay, so the recipe is salmon. Now in the salmon, I am going to incorporate my green onions that or shallots, depending. Some people call it shallots, some people call it green onions. Now I'm going to incorporate my mayo in here. And I will be adding some hot sauce. I've chosen this hot sauce. It's called Fire Barns. Fire Barns is located in Quebec City. They actually grow their own hot pepper and make the sauce there. I invite you to visit their website. We ordered, they also make barbecue sauce and those kind of sauce, so it's very interesting. Plus they have a variety of hot sauce and it's really good, so I invite you to check that out. Otherwise you can of course simply use the normal SuSHi that we normally use. So I'm going to go ahead, mix that, and this is going to be my base for my sushi. This is the mixture that I get. All right, now on to the sushi making part. So I'm gonna be using Mito soy wrappers, they call it. So I have my sheet here. Next step, I'm gonna be taking my rice. Now, if you need clearer instruction on how to make the sushi, I'm gonna link something in the video below, just because I'm obviously not an expert in sushi, and sushi à la maison is very great for this. The trick for your rice is to water your finger. As you can see, this is very sticky, but once I apply water on here, then I'm able to actually mold my sushi here. So most of the time you're going to be wanting to do this with a nice cup of wine as well as some music in the background, because as I said, making sushi takes a long time. But I mean, if you're like me and you like cooking, it's not a problem. And I'm assuming that you are if you're watching this video. I'm now ready to make my sushi. So I will be taking my mixture. Again, that was frozen salmon that I've torched to give it a smoky flavor, which I've cut into pieces, added green onion, finely chopped green onion, mayo, I made my own, but you could just buy some normal mayo, and spicy sauce. So, this is my first step. My second step is going to be to add my avocados. Then my mangoes. Now, if you like your sushi extra spicy, at this point you could also add a layer of hot sauce, SuSHi or Fire Barn, as I said before. Then I'm gonna be taking some tempura. This is one kind that you could get at the grocery store, panko. You could also get, I believe that Mito also makes one like that. So the tempura is gonna come and make this nice crunchy flavor. You could also add the tempura directly into here, but I find that it normally soaks in the liquids, and then it's not as crunchy. And then final step, my secret ingredient is my maple sugar. So this one is the pépite d'érable, so it's the biggest pieces, and I like to add it to this recipe here because it adds in the crunchy, but it's also that perfect mixture of sweet and salty. So for this final step, I've decided to bring in the camera closer so that you get a better look as to what I'm doing. So I'm just adding a layer here of my maple sugar, which is of course sold on our website, www.maplesavage.com. And now I'm ready for my final step. So my final step is to roll this here. I want to make sure that it's tight. Evenly. And ta-ta! We get our first sushi roll. So final step to enjoy this, I'm going to be putting some water onto my knife. I'm going to cut this into 2 pieces, and I'm gonna show you this nice roll that we get here. And now the other trick is to try to do even pieces. So here's my first roll of sushi. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set that in the fridge while I do the other ones, just to make sure that everything stays at the right temperature. So I'm going to continue to make my sushi. The one thing that I didn't say that I should probably say is that once you make your mixture, you most likely want to try it, in the sense that it's varied to taste. So like each individual will prefer something. So for example, when I just tried mine now, I decided that there wasn't enough sauce. I wanted my sushi to be a bit more flavory, and I also added some hot sauce again because that's how we like it. So just make sure that you try it, and maybe you're gonna want to make some addition. I am also going to put a lime, just because I feel like eating lime right now. So I will be adding that. And the one other thing that I've decided that I will add is some soy sauce. So the soy sauce that I use is actually SuSHi sauce. And I find that it's important because it doesn't taste at all like the like normal soy sauce. It's sweeter, and I find that, well, making sushi at home is not exactly the easiest thing, and I find that this works well for me, and it makes it like it's closer to what I eat when I go out. So it's that. And I've also decided to cut some cucumbers. When you cut some cucumbers to put into your sushi, make sure that you remove all of the seeds that are inside, and then cut your cucumber. What happened is your sushi is going to be bigger, but it's also going to be crunchier. So again, it's a matter of taste. Some people will prefer smaller sushi, so the more things you add, of course, the bigger it's going to be. So I am going to continue and finish this. Now, of course, the key ingredient to this sushi is the maple sugar. The maple sugar is available and sold online in our boutique. And for a limited time, you can buy the maple sugar trio in our gift section. These packages can also be great to give to your teacher as end of the year gifts, or can also be great as Father's Day, or maybe you're just curious like us and you like to try everything. So go ahead, hop on our online boutique and reserve your trio of maple sugar box. So this was my special recipe of sushi using maple sugar. Another great way or easy way to use maple sugar. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And of course, please consider to visit our boutique and try this wonderful and very rare product, which is great and can accompany multiple kind of dish. Many more videos to come. I really do hope you try this recipe. Please take care, and we will see you later. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.